this time, another temper tantrum. Again, I pray for the President of the United States. I wish that his family or his administration or his staff would have an intervention for the good of the country. Maybe he wants to take a leave of absence. I don't know.
I was extremely calm, very much like I am right now. And it was sad when I watched Nancy all moving, the movement and the hands and the craziness. And I watched it. That's, by the way, a person that's got some problems. I'm an extremely stable genius.
The movement and the hands. This week's sniping between the two of them, Trump and Pelosi, proved to be too much even for the hosts of The Five on Fox News, the president's cable network of choice.
Think about how lucky all of us are to be alive at this moment. Things are so good that two of the most powerful American politicians are in a roast, a public roast.
Washington is, by and large, a pretty deplorable place for this very reason. And I think a lot of people watch this and they think they're both nuts.
It's like two people over 70 accusing each other of being mentally deficient.
Back tonight, our returning champion, Rick Wilson, veteran Republican strategist whose views about our 45th president are best summed up by the title of his book, Everything Trump Touches Dies, which is now out with new material in paperback, including an updated death toll. Rick, take on just two aspects of what we saw yesterday. Number one, the ritual of watching our president call his senior aides forward, including Larry Kudlow, who had to limp forward on a cane to praise him and speak to his calmness. And number two, the president caps the day by redistributing on Twitter a doctored video of the Speaker of the House.
You know, the lineup of his aides and staff to sing his praises reminded me of those guys that would stand up when Saddam Hussein was still in power in the Iraqi parliament and shout out that they were the most loyal. No, I'm the most loyal. And it was the kind of display you see in some sort of third world autocracy. And it's unsurprising, though, because it's obvious that Trump went in that room and lost his damn mind. And basically ran out of there after having a stompy foot hissy fit. And embarrassed himself in such a way that it acknowledged for Trump deep in his heart he knew that Nancy Pelosi had owned him and owned him hard. And this distribution of the modified video, on the one hand, it's sort of a pathetic example of how silly and small this White House is. On the other hand, I think it's a preview of something very disturbing and very troubling, and that is that they want to diminish the value of truth in our political space. They want to break down the value of fact and truth as much as they can. And Trump knows with 60 million people out there, a certain percentage of those folks that follow him on Twitter would believe him if he said that Nancy Pelosi was an alien lizard creature. And so they will follow his lead on those things, and he knows that very well. And it shows he has no compunction about lying and using propaganda techniques that are far outside the mainstream of American political discourse.
Let's talk about the arc of Jerry Nadler, who in this studio last night with Rachel almost casually mentioned that he expects Mueller to deliver an opening statement on camera and then go behind closed doors, give testimony to House Judiciary, a transcript of which we will be able to read. Hours after that, Jerry Nadler shows up with Mayor de Blasio at an event in New York City and becomes visibly and obviously unresponsive for quite some time. Medical attention is rushed in. He's rushed to the hospital. He insists he's fine. 71-year-old chairman of House Judiciary. And now I'm going to show you the reaction of the woman who is the borough president in Nadler's Manhattan.
The whole entire country is on the shoulders of Congressman Nadler. That's what was going through my mind, literally.
So that may be a bit of an overstatement of the power of the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Rick, but look at the characters we are left with now. The Democrats have had a little bit of an advantage vacuum here. They've been reduced to writing angry letters and empty chairs in lieu of people testifying.
They have, and it's time for them to step up and start exercising those congressional prerogatives that they have. And it's time for them to start fining some of these people and holding them in contempt and start taking some scalps. You need to start making sure that there's a pain level that is attendant with this whole thing of thinking that a congressional subpoena is optional if the president's mood is a certain way about it. It's not optional. This is a co-equal branch of government. They need to act that way. And I think when Chairman Nadler's case, look, everybody in politics has hit that moment where they skipped a couple of meals. They've been running hard all day, and they just their blood sugar crashes out. I hope that's what happened with him today. I'm hearing tonight that he's okay from a couple of different folks. So I hope he is, because it is important that this committee continue to have somebody on it who is going to put the country first before partisan interests, because the Republicans on the committee right now are members of the Donald Trump cheer section and not actual members of a second branch of government. They're like employees at a Trump golf course.
Let's talk about Mr. Barr, the Attorney General. Those of us, how do I put this gently, with graying or no hair, who are old enough to remember incarnation number 1 of Bill Barr during the Reagan and then Bush 41 administration, remember him as kind of a Republican, a Bush-era Republican. Yeah. But now he has proven to be so pliant to this president that he's been richly rewarded with these new powers concerning our nation's intelligence. What do you make of it?
Well, there's a ripple going through the intelligence community today, and it's not a ripple of fear they're going to be caught in some conspiracy against Donald Trump. It's a ripple that Bill Barr will demand information from them, politicize it, expose it, put it out there for Donald Trump's political benefit, because everything Bill Barr has done so far as Attorney General has not been in service to the nation or justice. It has been in service to Donald Trump's political standing and security. So there is a great fear out there that he's going to start demanding human sources. He's going to start demanding intelligence materials that were used in the legitimate FISA warrants in this thing, and demanding information from our allies to use for a political purpose for Donald Trump's benefit. And I think that this is something that has shocked the conscience of a lot of folks in the intelligence community. And I'm hearing it's actually got some trouble, some pushback coming from his own DNI tonight, that this is a bridge too far in terms of giving a political hack like Bill Barr the keys to the intelligence kingdom in order to serve Donald Trump's reelection campaign.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.